All right. This goes with that. So your how you responded, how your comments about your partner, they go together, and also the essay. Okay. So that's going to be kind of part of that 25 points. And this same thing, demonstrate courtesy and respect. Are you paying attention to them? Are you falling asleep? Are you being engaged in the inner circles conversation? Questions so far? No? We're good? All right. Give me 8 and 8.
Shut up.
Nervous. Well, get your nerves on. What you nervous about, son? You talk all the time. Don't talk all the time.
Why are you just there?
Oh, you probably have to get up.
Yeah.
Let me get that chair.
Okay.
No, I want this chair right here. I want to listen.
Noah, can I have that chair?
He got up.
You gonna quit yelling at her like you crazy.
And who are you talking to?
You.
I forgot we're recording.
Send that to DHS.
All right, 8 and 8. 5 more seconds.
So how do you feel about this debate?
This so far was recording.
Huh?
I wasn't even talking to Zach. I was just.
All right. Everybody has a partner? Excellent. Let me get my stuff. Okay. First question you have 5 minutes. You may begin.
So, what kind of connections did you make with Benjamin's letter to Jefferson with the real world today? Alrighty. Well, I said the presidential race, because he's kind of like trying to bring everything into it, so it kind of focuses down on one point.
Well, you see, the way that I understood it, it says to apply the discrimination in the world. So I thought, I mean, yes, I thought of Trump, but it was like some people are born with more money, so that leads them to like discriminate against the poor people because I mean they were born with it, they were entitled by nature.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that. You know, like a more like a religious way they could be discriminated. You know, like with ISIS or whatever, they're crucifying Christians and killing people that don't believe the same way as they do. Mm-hmm. And it could also, you know, go back to the money aspect of it. You know, they don't like rich folks. Sometimes don't like poor people and, you know, put them down.
Pause, just 1 second. You don't have to pause. Use that second page to write your partner's comments. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you this
And I don't know if it kind of tied into it, but the discrimination that I thought of was the whole men and women in the workforce thing, and men getting paid more than women, and that whole kind of thing. So, yeah.
But do they really get paid more?
I agree with you, but like some people are born more into the wealth, and they just like maybe they don't even realize that they look down on the poor people because they're rich. Like sometimes they just don't think like that, even though they are looking down on them because they're poor.
But all rich people, like you can't just say rich people because then that's discriminating on rich people. Like all rich people look down on everyone.
But also you have like a lot of people look at if you're if you're rich, you're basically above middle class, and the middle class also looks upon the poor. So, and then the middle class is the one that discriminates against the rich because they feel like I should be in that area too. It's a constant fight in the government right now.
Well, what I thought about when it asked me about whenever it was talking about discrimination, I thought about all the stigma behind immigrants and the Muslim people because of the terrorist attacks. And my evidence that I have cited for it was we have long been looked upon with an eye contempt, and we have long been considered rather as British than human. But where's all of y'all's evidence that y'all cited?
Idea. And all these wonderful big words. Most of it is just brutish than humans, how they treat people. Now we kind of treat people today, and just we embrace every opportunity. So like the rich people are like, hey, I'll fly in with my helicopter, because they take every opportunity to flaunt their wealth, or some of them do.
Yeah, but that's quicker.
So anything, y'all guys?
Like the quote he's got in the questions talking about like they were, he wrote like the white people thought they were entitled to like say they slavery because by nature, but not, we look like that about other things too, like how we think we're better than other countries, you know, think since we're the United States we're all big and bad, and why, you know, think of put down like the Middle Eastern countries just because all the terrorism and stuff.
You see, with my evidence, I basically used this quote, but I didn't actually use it. I used it as to make a connection, because it says free possession of those blessings entitled by nature. So that made me think of somebody being born into something, and so I connected it because it's not all about race. I mean, this letter is most the slaves. We all know that, but it's not exactly pinpointed on that. So I made a connection to bring it out to make people think about different things. And I kind of agree with Chauncey, and my evidence to back it up is the part after the quote in the paragraph. It says, of his equal and impartial, not that part, but you say at the same time counteract his mercies. And I think about, if you look at the Constitution, it kind of says every person's equal, man, woman, black, white, and Muslim, and then American. And you look at it, and we're basically repeating history by saying you have all these freedoms, you will get this amount of money, you'll be able to have this amount of health care, but you weren't able to.
Okay. You have 4 minutes to turn and talk.
One time you said like, but it's fast.
I like that you related, that your relations are kind of, I ain't gonna say they were different, I mean, but they wouldn't, I wouldn't say they were.
That I did. So whenever there's a question and I'm going to put my opinion in with my evidence. The evidence is
I ain't hear you talk much, so I couldn't really say good.
I didn't see too many spots, but you probably could have a couple more times. Please stop being so dramatic. You're just walking by.
Ooh, so much power today.
You shouldn't, like a good person, I would say, you know, like a Black Lives Matter.
But it was talking
like, you know, like I'm saying, like how
it was. This is the question. Was just, yeah. The way I did it, I was looking at like other than people race, he was important to say stuff about
You said, can you ask questions? I was trying to tie to
Hey,
And then,
Jesse.
like, when you ask a question, if you ask a question, when you ask it, like, put somebody like Evan or, you know,
I don't like expulsion. That's like basically discrimination, and I feel like it's their thing. But when it comes down to it, they're against it, and I feel like that's how it goes back. What is that?
he said, Pookie, what are you? I don't know.
Well, yeah, like everybody talks about it.
When it comes, it's not like all barking about it.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, you had to coach me also?
Don't what?
You had to go inside also?
Hey, Jesse.
Peace. But I can't really look up at him and ask him back because he has a camera in his phone. But I just want to say, like, why does he keep coming up?
That's why those two.
I just written that down. No one is citing evidence, and then you jump right in.
Oh, I thought you said Noah.
No,
I'm not allowed to talk during these things.
Because I know if he's trying to get him to feel the pain of slavery that he went through, then his ignoring of it, the situation, bring him back to the tender feelings that he did do. Okay, good.
So, Miss Anthony, what does my essay have to be about? Dang it, I want to write mine over a book.
Huh?
I was going to write mine over a book. The second one,
That means I have to have read the book.
Frankenstein.
You have never read Frankenstein?
You monster.
Monster! What'd you tell him? You did talk twice.
No, he talked to my lawyer.
I really wish I had a GoPro.
That's a real dime right there. That just really made that what means less money than
Switch right here.
Ooh, I want to do it. What?
Alright, we're switching now.
Good job. I was recording myself doing that. I have too much power over my hands. I can stand.
Alright. 5 minutes starts now. Question 2.
In Benjamin Banker's letter to Thomas Jefferson, it reads, "And now, sir, I shall conclude and subscribe myself to the most profound respect, your obedient, humble servant." And why would Banker the letter be interpreted differently in the time it was written versus today's society? And I was saying, what I said was, it was written by a black man, and in probably the all-white society. He's basically a minority. He's writing to Thomas Jefferson. He's making it seem that he's not writing to boss him around. He's making it, just like an awareness that, African Americans were treated different. I was going to see what y'all thought about it.
It was like, it'd be interpreted differently because nowadays, a black person wouldn't really talk to somebody like that. Your most obedient, humble servant. Nobody would say that.
Like today, like if a black person wrote a white person, it wouldn't matter. Like it wouldn't be looked at like this was. Like it wouldn't have been made into something like this. Like it was written when black people were still judged and discriminated against, and he was writing to a white person.
Like with Colin Kaepernick, with him kneeling during the Pledge of Allegiance, if a white guy did that, it wouldn't be such a big deal. If you think about it, people wouldn't react just the same like if a white guy did. Nobody would react the same.
Well, let's bring this back to the text. So, my whole side on this was a lot of the servant's part of his words is, he's talking to the president. I'm not sure if he was the president at that time, but, the distinguished and dignified station, which we had underlined in class together, says that he was a really high position, so there's part of the servant. But it's also the black man, because I did a little research, this was in 1791. The black man at that point in time was possibly the lowest ranking social in the society of America. So